Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Hikari with Spectrum DIY, and we kind of want to go over how we made this key in Blender. And this key is a game-ready asset that we use in Second Life. So first, let's get our previous key out of the way. So we will grab those along the X and just move them out of the way like so. Now, from here, we want to create a new mesh plane. We want to switch to edit mode and hit X and delete only the faces. We want to select all vertices, hit M, merge at center. This gives us only one vertice, and now we can grab and move that vertice down to our object. Now we have it right above where we want it to be. Now we want to go to overhead view. We want to grab and move this right over here to our corner. From there, we want to control right click to extrude new vertices along the face of our key like so. We'll go around the edges. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect yet. We can fix that in a moment. So we just want to go around the outside edges of our keyway. So now we have a outline of our key. Let's come down here to this one vertice set, and then from there we want to merge vertices, collapse by distance. So now we have one singular point. We actually did that at center. My apologies. So while we're looking at above, we want to fix the layout of our key. So we'll select this. We want to come up to snap, make sure we're select to vertex mode. And now we want to grab along the x-axis and snap in line with our top vertice. This one we want to do along our y-axis to make sure that's in line. This one we want to grab along x, snap to that one. And because this image is slightly twisted, it will be a little bit out, which is completely fine. So from there, now we want to go and select everything and hit F to fill, zoom out, and we want to extrude up. So we have us a key blank like so. Next, how we're going to make the key cuts. What we do is we add a mesh plane in object mode, mesh plane, and then we want to rotate that around the y-axis, holding control and bring it to 90 degrees. We're going to grab X and bring that back a little bit to give us kind of an outline, just like that. Now we're going to hide our key blade. We're going to call this key blade. Not very original, but need to know what it is. And then for our reference image, we're going to do ref, and from there a new material, which we are going to give a image texture, open, and we have a reference for a key. We'll load that onto there like that. From there we want to rotate around X 90 degrees to bring it vertical. We want to scale along the z-axis to kind of straighten that key out a little bit, and then we want to scale the whole thing down so it's a little more size of a key. From there we want to hide our key blade, and we want to start working on these cuts here. So the way we do that is we want to add a mesh plane. We want to switch to edit mode, hit X, only faces, hit A, M at center, and that gives us another vertice that we can work with. And we're going to grab that and we're going to move that vertice right here. And then from there, we're going to control right click up, over, and we're going to start outlining this key cut just like this. All right, so now that we've got that, let's go in and clean that up just a smidge to make sure everything's in line the way we want it. Vertex snapping is on. So now we are going to grab Y, snap to this one. We'll bring this down, grab Y, snap to that one. And now we've got our aligned key face. We want to select all and hit fill with F and extrude out to here. We'll dissolve edges, and that'll fix that. All right, so from this point, now we have our key cut, and we can hide our plane, which is our reference, and then this can be key cut. We'll bring back our key blade, and we'll select this key cut, move that to where it intersects with our key blade. The next step is we want to move it down. So actually in this case, we could just move our key blade up to where it just nests in there like that. So it cuts it off here, but leaves it flat. From there, we want to move our key cut along the y-axis inward until our flat edges intersect just a smidge. We don't want to go too far. So we want to grab along the y-axis and kind of move that in to about there, which gives us a little bit of play. And we can actually do that from the back side as well if you really wanted to, since they are different heights. But we're going to do it this way. So from there, now we want to convert both of these to a mesh. We want to apply all transformations to both of them. And now we select our key blade. We add a modifier, Boolean. We want to do difference and select our key cutter. And now we can convert to mesh. We can get rid of our key cut, and now we have a cut key. If you don't want this to go all the way through and you want to leave this edge, you can go back and move this along the y-axis until it's just nudged. So you can grab along the y and kind of move that where it's a little less touching, and you have the same cut on both sides. So now you go to key blade and you can select your key cut, and now your key cut is visible there, and you right click on key blade, convert to mesh, and now you've got a cut key that looks really good on both sides. Now to get the rest of this key, we proceed to copy that using our reference image from here. So the way we like to do this is we select object mode, vertices, and select just the top. We want to drag these down along the z-axis till they're level with the top of the key, like that. As you can see, they're level in line. And the way we did this was we made a secondary object for this. So from here, we want to go to object mode. We'll hide the key blade, and we will come out here, Control A, create a mesh plane, delete all faces, hit M to merge at center, and from there we can take and we can move this vertice to the bottom of our key and start Control right clicking our key. Now to clean these up, we're going to do the same thing we did before on our key blade. We're actually going to select this one. We're going to grab along the x-axis with our snapping on, grab along z-axis, snap to there. We're going to move this one a little more up, and this one we're going to move a little more down in line with our other. And this gives us a nice straight edge here. And then we'll go ahead and line all of this up. All right, so now that we've got our kind of key outline, it's not perfect, but it works. We'll select all, hit F, and we can extrude this with our key blade visible. And since it's starting there, we can actually, before we do that, we can grab along the x-axis, kind of grab that just slightly past our keyway, and we'll extrude that along the y-axis till it's just past our key, like so. And then from there, we now have the head of our key. Now, from here, you can do it a couple of different ways. We did it an orthodox way where we didn't even merge we did not merge this face with this face. We actually just set them close together. So that's what we're going to do here for the sake of maintaining the same order. So we bring this down till it just touches like that. Grab Z, bring it down till it just touches. And now we can hide our reference. And now we have a key. If you're at the point where you want to know how do you merge these two, you literally Control select both of these while in object mode, hit Control J, and now they're one singular Keyblade object like that. And as for texturing, the way we did this other one was a little different. We did a automatic unwrap and then textured it in Photoshop. For this key, though, the reason it has a bounding box, which is this box here, Second Life only allows you to have an object that goes down to a minimum of 0.01 on the smallest side. So we put a bounding box that is 0.01 on all sides, put our key on the inside of that box, slightly smaller, and then linked this key to this bounding box so that it was the bounding box was the main outer prim. We assigned a transparent alpha to this outer bounding box, and then our key had our texture. And I will show you what that ended up resulting in one moment. So now that we're inside of Second Life, let's take a look at this control panel in its glory. You can see our key here. And if you turn on invisibility, transparency rather, you can see the bounding box that we made is bigger than the key. And we made different scales from this great big scale, the medium, small, and then as small as this panel will possibly go. And you'll see that the key still fits into that slot. And here is the tiniest the key will go, which is actually smaller than this small control panel. And the reason for that, if we drag a copy of this tiny control panel all the way over here, this is as small as it can possibly go, as you can see. We'll go to our inventory and we'll go to our key and we'll drag the second key that we made, or even the first key that we made. That might be the better one to drag. There it is. So if we shrink this down as small as it'll go, that's as small as this key can possibly go. It will not go any smaller. If we touch this key, it will try to size itself to match that keyhole because we scripted it to position itself in line with this keyhole. But you see what it does here? It warps the key into a very odd blobbish shape. So by tricking Second Life and creating a bounding box that is bigger than the key, we can shrink this key down way smaller than is normally allowed. And then when we hover over our control panel and touch it, it moves into place. And now you can see our key fits perfectly into our keyway. Now for the large scale, let's show you what that looks like. On a large scale, this is the way our key looks. And again, if you touch the key, it will insert directly into the slot, and it does not matter the rotation or orientation. We can rotate this in the most odd, bizarre way, and we can scale it down to whatever size we want to. And whenever we touch this key, it will size itself and position itself correctly. And if we do local for movement, we can move this key directly out of the slot, and you'll see that the key in fact fits perfectly into this slot. Now we do actually have PBR texture on it, so it's got a little shine to it. We're proud of that. But anyway, we hope you found that entertaining and again enjoyable and informative. So if you would like to support us, you're more than welcome to support us on Patreon, or you can check out our website. Patreon isn't really supremely active, so direct support is always appreciated, but none of that is obligated. This is just free knowledge that we wanted to share using some of our 3D experience. And in the meantime, y'all take care of yourselves, stay hydrated, have a great day, and clean as you go, peace.